what I'm going to talk about right now is the books that I'm reading and also give an update on where I'm at with my 2020 reading goals. So, first of all, what I'm currently reading is The Two Towers. I finished The Fellowship of the Ring, obviously. I just did a review for it, and I should be posting that soon. As for The Two Towers, I am past the halfway point, and I am liking it a lot so far. I am not sure how I'm going to like this latter half. I really like the movie The Two Towers, and what I like about that movie is everything that's happening with Gimli and Legolas and Aragorn and Merry and Pippin. Their whole side of the story I really like, and I'm not super into all of Frodo's stuff, but I also am not a fan of Frodo in the movies. I like him a little bit more in the books, but I digress. Anyway, in the book, the storyline with Aragorn and everyone else happens in the first half of the book. It doesn't flip-flop like it does in the movie. It's just their story for the first half. And then this second part of the book is all Frodo and Sam. So basically, everything that I love about the movie has already happened. And I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this second part. I want to say that I'm going to like it. There are going to be differences, I know, because there already have been differences, and hoping that means that I will enjoy these parts of the story more, and the fact that I like Frodo in the book more than I like him in the movie also makes me hope that I will like him more, or like this section more, but I'm reluctant to start it. I'm going to, obviously. I'm going to finish the book, but I'm feeling a little reluctant. Before starting that section, I decided to pick up another book. Johannes Cabal, The Necromancer, which is something I got a couple months ago. It's a funny book, comedy, so I picked it up because it seemed like a fun read, and it's a change of pace from what I have been reading. So far, it's good. I'm about 50 pages in, and it is interesting and it's funny. I'm not super pulled in yet. I'm getting there. There are things that are kind of pulling me in, but I feel like I just haven't been given enough yet for me to feel super invested in the characters, the main character, and the story. So I'm still gonna continue reading and see how it goes. And then I'm also reading Desa Kincaid, The Bounty Hunter, which is a self-pub book that I've been working on for a little while now. I started it in February, I think it was the end of February. So yeah, I read like 50 pages and I thought it was like decent, and then I stopped for a long time. And that's because when reading books, I usually gravitate towards what's right in front of me. So that's another reason why I don't read a lot of ebooks, is because they're not right there. They're not right in front of me. And so it's hard for me to prioritize them and not prioritize what's sitting right here, right in front of me, what's propping up my camera, which currently is Robinson Crusoe, The Embers of War, and Cloud Atlas. So yeah, but I'm trying to prioritize it. I really want to finish it. So I'm close to 200 pages in now. It's a little over 500 pages, and it's all right. There are things that I like. There are things that I don't like. I'm not super invested in the story yet. There are things that I find really interesting that have been hinted at, but I'm worried that we're not going to get a whole lot of that, what I'm really interested in, and that it's going to be mostly this other stuff that I'm not super invested in. So I don't know. We'll see. I am going to finish it. And then I'm also listening to The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemison. and I'm about 40% of the way through that, and I've been 40% for about 2 weeks now, and that's not because it's not good. It's really interesting so far, but I just haven't had really the opportunity to sit down and listen to the audiobook. I think that reading The Lord of the Rings has sort of distracted me, and I've been doing a few other things too, trying to be productive while I have more time on my hands. Yeah, but I do want to continue that and finish it. Finish the series and see how it ends. I don't anticipate it having a happy ending. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with what I'm reading and listening to. And then as for my New Year's goals, so my goals for the year are to read, I still have these goals, are to read 2 new books, 2 books published this year, 3 self-published books, 3 nonfiction books, 2 anthologies, and 2 rereads, 2 books that I've read before that I'm reading again, obviously. And then there was a list of books that I also was expecting to read without needing a goal to do it. So as for what I've done, I haven't read any new books at all. That doesn't surprise me. I did think that this was something I would probably accomplish later in the year once more new books were out. I mean, I could do it now because there are a couple new books that I am interested in that are out. So it's not for lack of books. I just don't own any, and they're not in front of me screaming at me to read them. So I just need to find some and put them on my shelf so that I can stare at them and then be like, yes, I should read these books. For self-published books, I'm currently reading one. I haven't read any others. This is the first one. So, but I do plan on finishing it before the month is out, which is less than a week. But that's fine. I can do it. I don't think it'll be a problem. It didn't take me long to get through, like 150 pages, so I don't think the next like 300 will be that difficult. And I have no idea what other self-published books I'm going to read after this. I have like some saved like pictures on my phone that I like snapshotted that I was like, this sounds interesting, so I'm gonna have to go look through that. And then for nonfiction books, I'm actually doing pretty decent. I've read 2, and that's A Diary of a Bookseller and In the Garden of Beasts. So I've read 2, and I only need to read 1 more, and I think that's gonna be Running with Scissors, which I just got from a mystery box that I got. I did an unboxing video, and that was one of the books that I got, so I'll probably be reading that one. I think that's a nice variety of books for the nonfiction goal. As for anthologies, I've read 0. I haven't even touched one, and that's probably something I'm going to need to prioritize if I really want to finish them. And I could do it, I just need to maybe like read a story a day to get through them. I think the problem is that the reason I have this on my list is because I want to get them done and get through them, not necessarily because I'm really excited to read them. I mean, I know I'll be interested in them when I do, but yeah, it's the one I'm kind of least excited about, but I'm gonna do it. And then for my last goal, rereading 2 books. I've reread 1, so that's fine. I reread Warbreaker, so that was good, and I really enjoyed that. It's been a long time since I read Warbreaker, so I didn't remember that much from it, only like the really big plot points, and there were some fairly big plot points that I completely forgot. So it was still a really enjoyable read. My friend is currently reading it now too, so that's fun. As for the books I talked about in my goals video that I was expecting to read, because there were a list of books that I was like, I'm definitely reading these. As for those, there was Heretics of Dune. I don't know if I talked about Chapter House Dune. I didn't realize that was a part of Frank Herbert's series until a little bit later. But I did. I finished the Dune series. I finished Frank Herbert's books. So I did that. I was expecting to read a couple of Wheel of Time books, and I've read one. So not quite where I wanted to be with that. But oh well. I think the problem, again, is that I do not have the fourth book in front of me. I don't own the fourth book. And because I don't own the fourth book, I'm not reading it. And I have all these other books distracting me. So I haven't made it a priority to get it. So, and then I was anticipating reading The Lord of the Rings, which I've started. I'm halfway through. So there's that. And then also I was anticipating starting Earthsea, which I'm planning on starting soon. Probably after I finish Lord of the Rings. But I don't think I have the second book in that series. I think I only have A Wizard of Earthsea, and then I have like book 5. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my goals. So if I finish the self-pub book before the end of April, that will be 4 books that I've read that meet my goal. And my goals added up to 12 books. So that's that's a third of my goals, and we're a third of the way through the year. So I'm actually doing pretty decent. I'm doing better than I thought it was. So there's that. I think if I'm going to continue this, I need to probably plan it out a little bit better. I need to actually decide what I'm going to read and then put them in front of me so that I read them. Yeah. So where are you at with your reading goals, if you have any? Are you having a hard time meeting them, or are you doing a pretty good job? I'm doing decent. I'm doing all right. Although I was kind of hoping that I would just fly through these goals like before the end of the year, that like maybe I would be able to finish them by halfway through the year, which obviously isn't happening. Oh well. Yeah, well, thank you for watching, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.